There we go. Of course, only the most professional of streaming here. Just a little bit quiet. No, it wasn't that I was unmuted. It's because this does a weird thing. Oh, that's painful. You know what? That's okay. Don't worry about it. First few minutes of stream, we're just a little quiet, and then we're just straight back into it. Howdy, howdy. Thank you. Welcome, Alpha. Um, yeah, Trigon guy. I think it's really sad. It's still kind of depressing. Over Charlie Kirk. I'm still kind of processing it as well, just still reflecting on it. But it's even more reason for us, or for me anyway. Like I'm like this is way more reason for me to actually go out into the world and proclaim the gospel, to continue doing the stuff that I'm doing right here on the channel, because it's like that's the core. That's the standard, or that's the thing that Charlie Kirk was always trying to do, right? Which is like for us to actually be bold enough to speak out our faith. And I'm like doing this in a safe box, right? Where I'm just streaming, I'm just making videos this way, and I'm not actually going out into the real world. So I think what Charlie has done is like it's an amazing thing, honestly. So yeah. Um, Tristan's headquarters says I never really followed him that much, but he seemed like a stand-up guy. And that's the thing, right? Which is like, I think my biggest thing with it is that there are more people who are far more extreme. There are more people who are just like way more provocative, way act in a, they don't actually talk to their opponents either. Those are the sorts of things which I'm thinking about as well, because it's just like, because literally all Charlie Kirk was trying to do, he was moderate, like he was a moderate, compared to some of the right wing, like the rest of the right wing. Some of the rest of the right wing takes are like, so his was, oh, it's time to have discussion, it's time to have dialogue, this is what democracy is all about. And then the rest of the right wing, there are certainly parts of the right wing which are like, we cannot negotiate with the leftists, and we need to we need to continue pushing. So that's kind of, I feel that's the legacy which Charlie Kirk really leaves. And I'd hate to talk about it because we're about to talk about something else today, but I just wanted to go with that. He was the kindest, least aggravating, and most gracious right winger I have ever heard. For real, that's so true. Yeah, the fact that he is being called far right, I think it's you don't know what that term means. You literally do not know what you're talking about. People who call Charlie Kirk far right, you have no idea what you are talking about. So that's that's my take on it. All right, so today we are reacting to a video. Yeah, I usually don't do a stream. This is Sunday morning my time. I usually don't do a stream here because I have volunteering duties at my church, but I have been freed of those for the next 5 to 6 weeks, so I can actually stream on the weekend, like consecutively and things like that. So as you may know, I have already done let's see, that's I have done 1, 2, 3, and here's a fourth video here. Let's see if we can try. I'm kind of covering Nezuko there, but there she is. There's Nezuko. So I've done Demon Slayers versus Demon Grifters, how Demon Slayer teaches Christian theology, the anime that literally has Satan, and Demon Slayer is a Christian anime. So I've done 4 videos on Demon Slayer because that's how much I like it. I really, 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 really like Demon Slayer. Now, it is, yeah, those are, for those of you who are just joining stream, welcome Philip Murphy. Welcome. I'm not going to even try to say that. That's an insane thing that you've just typed out in chat. All right, so I've already done 4 videos on Demon Slayer. It should be aware, like for those of you who've watched it, like it should be clear how much I really do like it, because I think comparing this to another shonen anime which I watched, which was Jujutsu Kaisen, I think all Jujutsu Kaisen is the fights, and not really the story isn't something which really compels me. The story is lazy at some points, and it's just it's what it is it's a colorful light show that's trying to keep your attention as much as possible with all of the fights, and that's perfectly fine, right? If you just want to watch an anime about fights and things like that, that's what that's what the thing is for. I think Demon Slayer does it has its fair share of fights as well, but for me, as someone who's like not really into shonen, who's more into like the story, I really appreciate the story of Demon Slayer, the themes of Demon Slayer, right? Which is it's a story of like how this older brother is trying to take care of his younger sister, and I think those bonds of family, those bonds of like working hard. It has good representation. So it has better representations of masculinity, I think. So those are some of the things that I've got. And takes less than 20 minutes for a volume. I've never seen JJK or Demon Slayer. I see. No, it wasn't bad, Huanki. It's just that Juanki, or however you say it, it's just like it was just a block of text that I didn't really want to read. Sakamoto Days, oh man, I have mixed feelings about Sakamoto Days. I feel like it's cool in some respects, but it's not really as well. I feel like it's a bit dull. So that I didn't really get into, even though I have done a Sakamoto Days video. There it is. I wasn't really super invested in it. So yeah, that's all it is. Manga is peak, allegedly. Messenger of Truth says, "Welcome to the stream. Mugen Train is still my favorite movie theater experience ever, and I have you've seen Interstellar on the biggest screen in the world in Seattle. You know what? I really should invite a few friends. I know I have a friend who recently just binge watched all of Demon Slayer, but not the movie yet. So I really need to I want to see if he wants to go out and watch the Infinity Castle movie. I did not watch Mugen Train in theaters because I wasn't into Demon Slayer back then. So there you go. I'm not gonna make any comment on Pokemon right now. At some point I will, maybe the truth about Pokemon. Maybe. So yeah. All right. With that, there is a video from Impact Video Ministries. Now, what really struck me about this is that this is a pretty mainstream channel. This is a pretty mainstream Christian channel, and I think it's an amazing thing that we're seeing. Like this is the sort of stuff that I want to see as yeah, this is a reaction video. This is the sort of stuff that I like to see, right? Which is it's mainstream Christians not necessarily embracing anime, but like they're slowly starting to see that anime is not like this evil thing, right? So this is why I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this video. I saw this pop up on feed. I was about to watch it, but I was like, you know what? Let's watch this as part of a reaction. We'll see if they point out the same things that I was kind of drawing from. From memory, I think from memory, the way that I'll just give a summary of some of my videos. So basically, the point of this video here, I think this guy is a representation of Satan. It's like it's not the fullest representation of Satan. He's an imperfect caricature of what Satan is. But I think some of the things that he does, like, which is like he's corrupting people's bodies, right? He's lying to these people, saying, "Oh, I'm going to give you a better life," but instead, no, he wants you to serve him. And all of the people who actually serve this guy, who I forget his name, all of the people who serve him are incredibly scared of him, right? There's no, it's a servitude of fear rather than serving out of love, right? Well, in the way that we serve Christ, right? Like we are slaves to Christ, yet we are willing and we love Christ, right? We are willing slaves to Christ, and we actually love him as well. Unlike where we see this guy, the main antagonist of the anime, all of his followers, yeah, it's not that they have eternal life, but they have like extended life, right? But it's out of fear, right? They're living under fear. So yeah, there are some problems with Demon Slayer though, because I'm pretty sure it does teach reincarnation. So yeah, I'm not gonna. That's that's one of the unfortunate parts of it, right? Which is like we learn where to take away from it, and then that's it. Some of the other themes, I can't remember, but it's like I'm pretty sure if we're talking about like family values, that's where we're probably going with it. So yeah, chat, please stay on topic. We're staying on Demon Slayer. Kalion's Remnant says School Live, Non Non Biori, Freerun, and Demon Slayer. So a top four. I haven't seen Non Non Biori yet. I really need to do so. I have seen School Live. I really want to make a video on it, but I don't know how to package it for a modern audience. So we'll see. We'll see with that. So yeah. All right. With that, let's go watch. Let's see what this guy has to say for it. Yeah. Also, yeah, I haven't watched Infinity Castle yet, so I really hope I don't get spoiled.
So, Demon Slayer is one of those animes that I feel has a ton of moral lessons behind the crazy fight scenes, the heartbreaking plot, and fun character designs. For me personally, whenever I watch any show or movie,
fun character designs. I think I will preface this with this, right? Which is chat. I'm sorry. You know my history with 10-minute long videos. You know that we never truly get to finish them. So hopefully we'll see where we go with this one. I really hope we finish this 10-minute video reaction. So hopefully we'll go with that. I think on the character designs as well, I really love, like, it's you really get a sense of who they are. They all have separate personalities. They all have like their own thing. It's not as if they're all copy paste one character, right? They all have their and it's not too many characters either. I feel like something like JJK. The reason why I have my criticisms of JJK because it's like there's constant flashbacks again and again and again and again with characters who I just do not care about. Well, I think Demon Slayer does have the same of that, but it knows when to not have like a super long flashback or not to spend like the whole whole episode on just one flashback, right? So that's why I appreciate it more with that. It earns the R rating entirely on violence. Yeah, this is the thing, right? Which is like, I think Demon Slayer is worth watching. It's really cool. Just on the basis of watching it on animation. There are certain points where it feels like it just goes on and on and on, and it's like at the point where the enemy is dies, like at that point it feels like, oh, they should be dead, but then there's some garbage reason why they come back. So it kind of has that some of the same flaws of the of other shonen anime, but at the same time I think the animation saves it. I think the story, even though it's not the most remarkable thing ever, it's still a cute story, and I'd still follow it. So that's why I think it's worth it. You should totally watch it, or go watch my videos on Demon Slayer first, and then go do that. Go do that.
I immediately start.
Yeah, I know. Okay. This is my thing as well. Mitsuri should be a little bit more modest. I think I agree. It is just one character, and I will say, right, if that is something that if you are making an effort to really like flee from sexual immorality and not have any part in it, and that is something like if you watch like if that is something that's causing you to stumble, right, which is like looking at an anime cute anime girl and seeing her immodestly dressed, yeah, you should avoid it, to say the least.
Thinking what lesson the author's trying to communicate to me. And for Demon Slayer, I actually think that Christians could be better followers of Jesus if they applied these lessons that are in the show that I'm about to tell you. And before I get started,
That's an insane take, but that's literally that is what Christian anime podcast is all about, and that's what the concept of Christian anime is all about, right? Which is like, these shows we know are not we know like everyone has received natural revelation, right? Everyone has received everyone knows the law. The law is written on everyone's hearts, right? So even though non-Christians may be representing morality, or like, and this idea, right, of morality, right, which is like, oh well, they're not Christians, they're just like moral people. Well, the idea of morality itself is Christian. It only comes from God. There is no other place for which morality comes from except from God. That's why I'm very intentional in saying this is a Christian anime, because not only is like you're saying, oh, everyone can be moral, like even atheists can be moral, like even non-Christians can be moral, right? But at this, like, no, you have to realize that your morality actually comes from God. That's what makes it Christian. It's because everything which is good in the world, everything that the things which are compelling you to do good, it is only from God. It literally is only from God. So yeah, we'll keep going.
I do want to say that many Christians watching this will be like, what? Demon Slayer? How dare you promote Demon Slayer? You're gonna stumble a bunch of believers. And to you, I'd say, yeah, I get you. This anime definitely isn't for everybody. For one, it's gruesome, and the first episode is pretty graphic.
Yeah, I agree. And he's gonna mention the fan service, I'm assuming.
Top of that, there's quite a few characters that I believe should be wearing more clothes. And I also don't get why one of the characters has 3 wives. So really fast, if sexual immorality is something that you're currently struggling with, or if you're sensitive to blood and graphic scenes, then I was
gonna say, like, that's I should have mentioned that as well, but I completely back everything that he said. Like these are like fair restrictions, right? Which is like, if on the matter of conscience, I think for people like myself, I'm like, yep, I'm fine with it. I am not tolerant of it, but it's not causing me to stumble, so I'm happy to watch it. So there you go. He has 3 wives because it's set in 1800s Japan. Yeah, it's for the context as well. And again, it's not saying, I don't think it's not necessarily that Demon Slayer is promoting the lifestyle that you should have 3 wives, right? So yeah, that's not the thing that it's trying to say.
Not recommend this anime to you. But that aside, if you have the spiritual and emotional freedom to watch the show, then the first lesson that every Christian should honestly apply to their life is one found in episode 1 of the Mugen Train arc. And this episode highlights one of my favorite characters of all time, Rengoku.
Rengoku. I really liked Rengoku as well. Reflecting on Mugen Train, yeah, I think in those 6 episodes, or like the movie, I didn't watch it in movie form, I watched it in 6 episode form. Yeah, I think it's just the way that he's just such a likable character. The way that arc ends is absolutely tragic. I completely did not expect it. Yet I think Mugen Train, all of Demon Slayer actually has this constant theme of like self-sacrifice, right? I think Mugen Train is one of the arcs where it's like really best exemplified in that. So yeah, I honestly headcanon that Rengoku was Christian. You know what? I back that headcanon. I agree, Trigon Guide. Description versus prescription, for real.
So quick little backstory for all you non-Demon Slayer fans. The show is basically about a kind of military group that are Demon Slayers, thus the name of the show. And their goal is to essentially eradicate all demons because they're evil. And the Demon Slayers have key leaders known as Hashira, and the word Hashira in Japanese is pillar. So the Demon Slayers are essentially held up and supported by these captains, like pillars. And Rengoku is the flame Hashira, with a fiery personality. He's always smiling and almost comes off as a little obnoxious at first because he's loud and yells delicious over and over again. But let's get back to the lesson. So in the first episode of the second...
Do I think Rengoku is obnoxious? That's a... I mean, he's got a fiery personality. We'll just say that. I like Rengoku because he's like He's this picture of a guy that I want to be more like, which is like absolutely no filter and just talks and just talks and talks. So that's why I like Rengoku. Welcome, Zach10. Good to see you on stream.
Second season, I can't stand the girl selling bentos. Yes, this girl right here. And the reason why is because she didn't believe in demons despite the fact that they're real. So in the Demon Slayer world, demons are the main enemy, and they roam the world and kill off people in horrible ways. But this girl here, living in, I guess, the feudal era of Japan, did not believe in their existence. So her mind was just this blissful utopia where I guess nothing bad happens. And this right here is where I'm going to talk about something that I cannot stand.
I have a feeling where he's going to go with this. I think it's not that Demon Slayer has a rights theology on demons and angels and spiritual beings, but there is definitely a spiritual war. It's like there is definitely a spiritual war. So we should totally and complete, like, I think the events of the past week, right? We just saw spiritual warfare on full display. I think that's just I'm anticipating he's gonna talk about this. Yeah, they do exist, right? So we'll see where he goes with it. I have a feeling where he's going with it.
In the American church. I remember there was this one time I was in Bible college and I was giving a practice Bible study, and as an illustration/attention getter, I said, what if there was a shooter that started to open fire and shoot people in the main sanctuary? What would you do? And the reason why I said this is because I was trying to drive home the idea that in the same way that there should be urgency to eliminate the threat, there should be a similar urgency when we preach the gospel, because people are actually going to hell. And you know what someone said? As constructive criticism, my analogy was unreal.
That's insane. I think, okay, I didn't expect that. So, again, right, we've just seen this over the past and even 2 or 3 weeks ago, right, with that Catholic school, right, where the kids were with the kids, right. I think we're it's not necessarily naive, right. I think people are products of the peaceful society that we used to live in, right. We used to or for you Americans, right, I think for a lot of Americans, you generally believe that that society was mostly peaceful, and there wasn't like gonna be and it was pretty democratic. There wasn't going to be like this massive wave of political violence. I think this is where I'm very lucky to be here in Australia, right, where political violence is definitely something that does not happen, and I really hope it doesn't happen. I really hope we continue living in this period of peace that we currently enjoy here in Australia. In America, though, I can see though that even just 10 years ago, turning back the time 10 years ago, 2015, and just seeing year after year after year after year, the violence just increasing incrementally, more and more and more and more. Yeah, people are products of their time. Yet it's something that I don't think you would ever think, right, that someone would shoot up a church, right? But we are living in this. You guys now are living in this period where it's certainly possible. So, yeah.
So honestly, I don't know what kind of bubble some believers live in, but we live in a demented world where real people actually get hurt. And I think that a lot of Christians live exactly like this ignorant girl in this episode and think life is this happy-go-lucky place where church is this dainty place that you go to on Sundays and you look all holy because you're listening to a Bible study and you sing some rendition of Amazing Grace and you go home and maybe post some Bible studies on Instagram. Where the reality is that following God looks dirty.
Man, I think if that was what following Jesus was, I wouldn't want to. Yeah, I think like I'm really lucky to be part of a church where like connect groups are highly encouraged. They're very not only highly encouraged, right, but they're the church has mechanisms to support us to join a connect group, to join part of as part of communities as well. Um, yeah, I think it's definitely it definitely could be the case that oh no, I shouldn't say that. I think there are certainly people out there, right, who live this way, where it's just go to church Sunday and then post Bible stories on Instagram. But yeah, it's not only dirty, but it's also like the Christian faith is one where it really is something that you live daily, and it's not just on a Sunday. And uh, I think you would be better off, like you will go way further in your faith if you fully comprehended that Jesus isn't just meant to be on your Sunday. It is complete obedience, complete obedience and submission to him all days of the week. So yeah, too many girls like that on campus where I'm at. Those same girls go clubbing on Fridays for hookups, and that's really like it's a tragic thing. I don't think I'm not going to say words of like judgment. I'm just gonna say like that's a sad thing, right? Um, and even more reason for us to say, hey guys, like we need to have like difficult discussions regarding this. And it's okay, it should be okay to have difficult conversations, like it once you, because we live in a generation, right, where it's like the moment you have a difficult conversation, okay, it's time to not be friends anymore. No, difficult conversations should be had, especially amongst Christians, and you should continue staying in fellowship and as friends together, because you are like, you're Christians, and your love should be for your fellow Christian as well. So yeah, it's all well and good.
Sometimes it looks like us confronting our sin, us trying to reach people who want nothing to do with God, and us getting back up again and again after we fall to our flesh. And honestly, that's why I love Rengoku, because here's the lesson if you didn't catch it. Demons should be understood to be real, and they should be fought. And Rengoku was someone who saw legitimate victims who were in need of saving, and he smiled in the face of danger and then used his strength to protect them. And if that's not a hero, I don't know what else is.
That's actually not a bad. That's not a bad interpretation of Rengoku. I like this. I really like this.
And something that I think is so accurate to real life is that in the Demon Slayer world, there are only a few that are Demon Slayers because only a few of them have the strength to fight them. And in my opinion, I think the same is true with followers of Jesus, where most Christians either ignore people's need for salvation and will live this content life of them doing their own thing. And then there's the few believers that fight the front lines, and they regularly pray for the salvation of their unsaved family and friends, and they make efforts to spread their faith in an effort to save them from hell. So that's the first.
I think that's a good take. I like that take. The only part I would disagree with it. Okay, no, actually, there is some level at which, of course, we are called to share our faith with non-believers, right? To give a defense for what we believe, to preach the gospel to all nations, discipling them, baptizing them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Like, our faith is one which is evangelistic, of course. Yet I'm also in recognition that some people are gifted with courage, right? Or gifted with emotional stability in stressful situations. Like, I say that because I think, let's say it's really easy to have like a one-on-one conversation with someone about faith, and that's good, and those conversations should be had. Also, there is such a case like for people who lack courage or lack lack the knowledge as well on how to navigate those conversations. I think there's power in praying for that, but also I recognize that that's not a gift that everyone gives, that everyone is given, that God gives to everyone. So everyone has various levels of courage, and I don't want to say discernment, just knowledge about how to social knowledge. We'll go with that. So yeah. Zaktan says, I agree, there is the general call to evangelism, and there are some who are called to be evangelists as well. Yeah, there's like a very clear oh boy, I'm trying to think it. Yeah, sorry, in the parable of the seeds, right, where some of that seed was picked up by the birds, some of that seed had shallow roots, some of that seed was grew up with the weeds as well, and some of those seed had 10-fold, 30-fold, 60-fold, and 100-fold. So yeah, it's definitely a general calling for us. Like if that's the calling for us, right, which is to have to plant seed, which is 100-fold. And this is also the thing, right, which is like faith doesn't mean for those of you who are scared of having those difficult conversations, you don't need to bring them to the gospel 100% of the time, right? It's just like you just need to get them thinking about some just get them thinking, right? Just put a stone in their shoe to just start thinking about God, right? Those conversation starters can be like, oh, what did you do on the weekend? I was like, oh yeah, I went to church on Sunday, and that's it, right? You could just say that, and that has been an opener for me for a couple of really cool conversations where it's like, oh, okay, so you go to church, so why do you go to church? And then, oh yeah, I go to church because I believe in Jesus. And they're like, so do you believe in the whole Bible? And I'm like, yeah, I believe in the whole Bible. So those are the sorts of things which you can do, right? Like you can just share your faith on that level, and that will hopefully plant seeds, and there will be other people like trusting that God has predestined everyone who he wants to save. There will be other people who will keep leading that person, and you might keep leading that person if you just plant that seed, right? And yeah, and ultimately it's all God who is in control, right? Which is, it's God who grants the gift of regeneration as well, right? So, and then will come faith. So yeah, so if there's at any point, right, like this is something that I think Ray Comfort says, either Ray Comfort or I think Greg Kokel says as well, right? Which is like, if if you ever are in a conversation and then the person is like, oh, I believe the gospel now, it's probably not you who is to credit for that. It is this long line of people who did come before you, who did plant those seeds beforehand, in the first way before you, only for you to then like take that as a W. So you probably aren't the first person to talk to this person if they profess suddenly say, okay, I want to follow Jesus now. So yeah.
First lesson, and before I get to the second one, I guess I should mention really fast that if you have not watched Demon Slayer yet, I'm gonna hit some pretty big spoilers. So stop right here now if you're not caught up with the second season, which you honestly should be. All right, so the second season comes from, again, my favorite character, Rengoku. And spoiler alert, he dies.
So
why did you have to die, Rengoku? And man, I cried so hard when I watched him in the movie theaters. It was horrible. So again, for those of you who don't know, in the Demon Slayer world, there are higher ranked demons that are much stronger than typical demons, and Rengoku, being the only one capable of facing this higher ranked demon, died a heroic death trying to fight this really bad dude. But even though he lost his life, Rengoku won that day, because other than him, not a single person died that night.
Yeah, Rengoku actually died. And I think, and this is the thing, right? Which is like, it was an act of self-sacrifice. The fact that everyone else he protected all of those people on the train. He protected his his junior demon slayers. So yeah, it's just one of the most. I still remember. I still remember watching it. I think the death. I didn't get emotional watching it, but it definitely was like, it was impactful, right? The moment that he died, and that last dialogue between between all of them, and it was just like it was so special, man. It was just so special.
Night, and Rengoku's sacrifice led to him inspiring the next generation of demon slayers, which I love. And his death right here is where I got the second lesson, which is a true hero is one who lays their life down.
For real. And I think I do mention this in my own videos about Demon Slayer, which is like, it's this idea of self-sacrifice, which is sacrificing for the sake of others. It's just, man, it's so good.
Down. And you know, you can't get more biblical than that. Jesus set the standard and died on the cross so we wouldn't have to die in hell. And as simple as laying your life down sounds, it's difficult. We as people are naturally selfish, we want to be noticed and recognized, and a lot of times we want things done our way. And when I saw Rengoku lay his life down, I was reminded of...
I've just noticed as well, the subtitles on this video are completely out of whack. So whoever's on it, like, you need to up your game, or unless it's just AI.
Who God calls me to be. Someone who is willing to live and die if need be for my fellow man. And this idea is a tough one to apply, because life is not as dramatic as this anime. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that we can't make small sacrifices. I think dying to self can look like us waking up early to pray and read our Bibles, or us taking ownership and apologizing when we mess up, or us being sensitive to other people's needs and making it a point to meet them. But no, Rengoku, why? All right, now to our final lesson, which comes from Season 5, the Hashira training arc, where the main character...
Okay, cool.
character Tan...
I think, as I said, right, like, everything in this video is, I completely agree with. I think there are some more points that he draws from that I don't draw from. But if you definitely want to see, like, some of the more Christian, like, way more Christian themes than the three that he just points out in this video, please, guys, do check out my videos on Demon Slayer, because there's just so much in it, and like it's a reflection of it. Like, there's a reason why there are 4 Demon Slayer videos on the channel. It's because that's how much I love them. It's just so... I love this anime, right? It's because it's got all of the things that make up a Christian anime. So yeah.
Tanjiro, as well as the rest of the Demon Slayers, are given this special training led by the Hashira to help them with future fights. And the reason why they're holding this special training is because the leaders sensed the need for their entire group to grow in strength.
Okay, I didn't think of this, actually.
So they gather all the Hashira, have them set up their own stations to teach specific lessons to the Demon Slayers, and they essentially work together to help them all grow. And this reminds me of an analogy that I heard from a preacher that I love, Alistair Begg. And he said something along the lines of this. Imagine you were in the military, and you were about to start basic training, which, by the way, has a lot of strength training and conditioning, and your commanding officer said, "All right, you're in the military now. Now, I know some of you might be uncomfortable leaving your homes, and I know some of you are expecting to do some training, which we will get to. But for now, let's begin by getting to know each other first." So we set up some pizza stations, and we have some donuts here, and we have some fun games and icebreakers that you can play as you get to know each other. And in the next few months...
I think, I like this analogy. I love this analogy. I think it's... Man, this is just... this... Yeah. I think... Yeah. I think about all of the... I think about my closest friends, friends who I really, really, really like talking to, and um, just want to continue being friends with, and just want to continue um, being in fellowship with, right? And I just think about like all of those people, and it's so true. Like it's not that it's not like I'm friends with these people not because like the church provided like all of these community hangouts where we would um, have pizza, have donuts, um, play snakes and ladders, right? But no, it's because like we've talked with each other, we've struggled through each other, with each other through our emotions, and man, this is so true. This is so true. So yeah. Hey, the guy who's talking about Yandere is in the live chat. You got to stay on topic, bruv. Stay on topic. And look, if okay, this is I'm gonna plug the Discord right now. If you want to talk more, if you want to talk about like off topic stuff, like not the if the stream isn't if the topic of the stream isn't on topic, or like if you want to talk, oh goodness, I've butchered that now. If you want to talk about topics which aren't directly related to the stream, go to the Discord server and I can chat with you. Someone else will chat with you. We can go on there. So don't like while you're in chat though, stay on topic. Starship Garage says, I'm currently doing a youth ministry. Of course, I could write an entire essay on this topic, but this is a live stream chat, so that's true. That's true. Yeah, I think about like just youth group practices, just the youth groups that I've gone to, and yeah, I think of course, there's something, especially amongst men, right? There's just something with just hanging out with each other, doing stuff together. There's an element which if you do activities with each other, like physical activities like running or playing physical games as well. That's also another thing, right? Which is like it can't just be there's connection to be made through video games, but like being physically together as well. There's a strengthened bond which can result in that too. So yeah, yeah. So fellowship, evangelism, and discipleship, baby. And I think like when you are discipling other people, when you are fellowshipping with each other through reading the word, and like this is the thing, right? Which I feel like it's going to like it's all of those other things are good. All of the activities, like the games, the food, that they are good things. But if it's not like the core should be ultimately to be in fellowship with each other through the word. So yeah, and it has to go beyond just the activities. Lego Boy says so many churches just feel like cheap, forced social clubs these days, the kind that don't appeal to men much. So, yeah, and you just stay together in a close, tightly knitted, close group of friends as well. So, yeah.
Once if you feel like it, and only if you want to. Then you could join us in the fight. And Alistair went on to say that as absurd as that sounds, that's exactly how many churches treat our youth.
True.
You see, if the Bible is true, which I believe it is, then shouldn't the church do everything in its power to equip the rising generation to overcome addiction and sin, and to come alongside them to teach them to pray, read their Bible, serve in ministry, identify their spiritual giftings, and help them walk in their God?
Like I'm really blessed to have been part of the church, which just has enabled like me growing up in this church as well. I am really blessed and lucky to have been, because that this idea that church is just like a social club, it's just that's just not doing like I know it's a cliche thing to say, which is like, oh, we need to be doing life together with, but having just social events like once a week, that's just not, you're not doing life together, you're not sharing your struggles together, you're not coming alongside each other, are you? So yeah, that's it. Starship Garage says the church I'm volunteering at right now is pretty big, but their youth ministry is actually fantastic with how they handle the message and discipling young believers. And yeah, that's pretty good, right? Especially for big churches. I feel like it's a thing for big churches, right, where they're kind of unable to go deeper in community because of how big it is. This is why I'm currently at more of a mid-sized church rather than a massive church. So yeah, we'll see where we so yeah there's that. The youth pastor gave a sermon right after the Charlie Kirk shooting, and it brought me to tears. Damn, that's insane. You hate the phrase "do life together." Paleon's remnant, I think it's like, as much as it's cliche and it's as much as it's really like, it's very millennial coded, isn't it? But there is a truth to it that Christianity is, or it's like you are doing life together in terms of you are struggling with each other, you are carrying each other's burdens, you are talking with each other, you are hanging out with each other a lot. So yeah, that's not to say, like, this is why I was very intentional, right, in after high school, like in trying to surround myself with friends who were Christian, and most of my friends now are in the church. And the friends that I have outside of church, they're all Christians as well. So that might be a problem for me, that I don't actually have friends who are non-Christian. I have acquaintances, like there are people I know who are non-Christians. But yeah, it's definitely something I can definitely improve on. So yeah.
God-given call.
Yeah, I agree. Starship Garage, fellowship is the solution to most of today's problems, right? Especially loneliness, right? Loneliness is the one where we have like this male loneliness epidemic. No, just go to church, bud. Go to a church, like get a group of people and all go to church. Go to a church which specifically has young people in it, and you've got fellowship there. So yeah.
But I think many times youth groups focus more on entertainment as opposed to equipping them for their next battle in life. Which is why I love Season 5 in Demon Slayer, because in these episodes, I saw all these leaders give very specific training to their subordinates so that they as a group can be stronger. And it makes me wish that churches would do something like this, where pastors themselves had seminars on how they themselves study the Bible and how they get close to God, you know? So anyway, I know that for a lot of you, Demon Slayer is just another anime to binge, but for me personally, it's a consistent reminder that spiritual warfare is real, and that while many Christians shy away from the fight, it's my job to encourage believers around me to keep fighting. That way, more people can hear this truth. Jesus loves you.
For real. Man, what a banger video. What a banger video. I didn't know how to react to it the first time, but everything that he said is definitely true. There are some insights that I definitely wouldn't have gotten out of it. I think all of those are basically new insights other than self-sacrifice. But yeah, I heavily encourage you to, if you have not watched my videos yet on Demon Slayer, please go do them. I'm happy with most of them. I'm pretty happy with all four. They're not like the best videos on the channel, but like if you want to know more about like how Demon Slayer is really, it really imbues, as much as it is an anime that has a lot of like non-Christian influences like Buddhism, it's still an anime that I think has all of these Christian themes in it. So if you haven't watched them yet, please go do it. I'm going to plug the Discord again as well. Please go onto the Discord. We've got a ton of stuff on the Discord now. We've got things like fit posting. So it's no longer just cute posting. We've got a channel called Cute Posting where you just post pictures of cute anime girls you found. We've got fit posting now where I am currently going through. I am suffering through a challenge right now to do 1,000 push-ups by the end of this week, and I don't think I'm gonna make it, but if you want to see me make it to the end, please go join the Discord. I'm trying to think what else. We've also got it's just a place to talk as well. We've got a weekly Bible study now, Friday nights for our American friends, Saturday mornings for those of you on the side of the Pacific, and it's just a place to chat. Like I'm on VC quite regularly, so if you just see me there and want to talk about something, I'm there. And there are like a ton of people on there as well who are willing to talk to you And if you are looking for an online community to go, please go join Discord. I know you don't have Discord, Huanki, but just get it. Just go. Jethro, I'm kind of fumbling right now because I'm currently on 100 and what's my last count? I'm currently on 135. So yeah. So yeah, we'll go with that. All right, with that, thank you very much everyone for joining me on stream. Very fun stream. We actually made it through a 10-minute video for the first time in a while, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. We've got I should plug this as well. The 16th of September, 16th Tuesday, 16th of September, which is 15th of September for in the evening for our American friends. It's coming up to the 3rd year anniversary of the channel, and of course, because I'm a VTuber now, we're doing a birthday stream, and we're just gonna go through, review all of the greatest hits of the Christian anime podcast, review what's come over the past 3 years, and just give a sense of the continued direction of the channel as well. So if you want to join that stream, please do, because yeah, it's, man, I can't believe we've already been 3 years into this. The 16th of September for me was the it was that's the day where I created this channel. I didn't post a video yet. The video would come, I think, a couple of weeks later or even a month later, right? And that video is not currently not available anymore. So yeah, if you wanna see me do that, if you want to join that in the celebration, please go do so. So with that though, I hope you all have a blessed rest of your week. For our American friends, I hope you have a good Sunday the following day. For those of you on this side of the Pacific, I hope you are all going to church. Go to church. Go do fellowship. That's it. So yeah, real VTuber birthdays are entirely fictional. Yeah, it's not my real birthday, but it's the day that it is basically my birthday, because it's the day that I created the channel, so it's basically my birthday. We've got Pacios. Thank you for the $5 super chat. At the monastery, having the best time of my life. I forgot to add to my prayer rule. I'll have to do that. Sorry. Please forgive me. That's perfectly fine, Pacios. We've also got a prayer channel on the Discord server as well. So if you've got any prayer requests, I know there are definitely people there on the server who will be happy to pray for you. So absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much. All right. With that, I'm out of here now. So take care, everyone. God bless.